And welcome back. I thought since I didn't have anything to plant this weekend, we are so overdue for an updated of what is under the grow lights, because as my husband likes to call it, our bedroom is slowly turning into a jungle. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Christy. I am located in Western Massachusetts, Zone 6A, and my average last frost date is around May 9th to May 15th. So that is literally next weekend or the weekend after. Depends. I don't know. We're still getting into the 30s for the next few nights. So it depends on how you want to look at it. If you want to go back to when it used to be May 15th, it keeps creeping up, but it's still a little bit cool. But I wanted to show you what's under my grow lights. Now, all the lights are off right now just so I can film this super quick, but I'll turn them back on once we start getting into each shelf, because I kid you not, I already was having some blooms. I know I started some things early. It's been really warming up in my bedroom, and that is because we have these huge windows in here. So we have a lot of natural light coming in. Plus, I also have the grow lights on as well. I have my heat mat going because I just signed up for a vendor event, my very first one. So I'm excited. That's not until the end of July. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get another succession of zinnias going. So I was doing that this morning. But basically, I have everything planted that I need to get done. Maybe minus if I wanted to get some like lettuce started, or I'm behind on nasturtiums, but sometimes I like to just direct sow those instead. But I wanted to show you everything that is growing here. I have racks over off to my right, and then we even have some in the basement. So I have a lot to show you. We have a lot of things that are getting rather large, like my zinnias. I was watering them and I had to do a little bit of rearranging, and I found some with blooms on them already. They're probably a little bit over 6 weeks old or so. I am hoping to get those in the ground probably around the May 15th or around Memorial Day weekend. I've already pinched a lot of things back. So I've pinched a lot of my first and second succession of zinnias. I have also pinched a lot of my dahlia tubers that I've woken up that have gone crazy in here, again, because of how warm it gets in this room. Even with the windows open and it being cooler out, it just gets so warm and humid. So everything is really thriving compared to what is happening downstairs in my basement, where it's a lot cooler, which is really good because it's keeping my tomatoes growing nice and slow. So I wanted to show you what everything looks like. It is now May 2nd, so we will be getting things into the ground over the next few weeks. I already have some dahlias in the greenhouse from all my cuttings. I need to make some space in here. So my plan is to get dahlias in first, then we'll get our zinnias and our celosia in after. We have sunflowers sprouting in the greenhouse. So we are like in full gear right now. There is so much to show you. So I'm going to start off with showing you what I have just started right now, as of this morning, actually, with some celosia and some zinnias. And then we will start with this larger rack here, move to our smaller ones, and then go down to the basement. And I'll even show you what is in my greenhouse currently right now. So let's get to it. So I was able to start 5 more trays, and I did a lot of celosia. That was a little bit behind on my amaranth, which I was supposed to start last weekend. Guess what? I never did. So I have those going right now. And then I actually started, I have my Bootstrap Farmer tops on, just some random mixed zinnias in here because of how I have the vendor event. It's like a craft and farmers market. So I signed up for that and I'm very excited. So I have them right now on a table. Since the celosia does need light to germinate, I found that this light does fairly well, but then they'll be moved over under the actual grow lights, and zinnias don't. So I put my celosia in the middle. I have everything about 75 degrees right now. I usually would bump it to 80 or 85 for zinnias. However, with the celosia needing 70 to 75, I figured we'll just keep them at 75 for now. All right, now let's move on to the floor, because this is how I am starting all of my dahlia tubers. These are actually seedlings I kept from last year, and they, as you can see, are sprouting like crazy. I did not have them grow this fast last year. I started them maybe a week or two earlier, but I did not expect growth like this. So these I haven't pinched yet, but I usually pinch above the 3rd set of true leaves. So I don't count these little guys right here. So 1, 2, 3. So I would pinch this little guy right here in the middle to encourage branching early on. As you can see, I did it right here, but I do still plan on planting these 4 to 6 inches deep. So what will happen is I will take them out of the tray. I will break off these leaves right here, and I will still plant it 4 to 6 inches. So it's really only about 5 or 6 inches poking out from under the ground. So that is how I like to do my dahlias. We have a very short window for them, so I like to start mine earlier. And last year I didn't get blooms until the end of July, so I really wanted to get them going. So you'll see trays like this. This is why my husband says it's a jungle, because we literally have plants everywhere. And yeah, so we're gonna back up and I'm going to go over, look at these, this rack up here. Okay, so this is our main rack right here. It's pretty deep, so sometimes I will say like my basil for cooking kind of got buried behind these zinnias and these pepper plants. So I'm hoping they rebound. If not, I will be buying a lot of basil to plant for myself in my containers, because I did so much rearranging, I forgot about them. But I mean, these are our peppers that we started. So I have them in my Bootstrap Farmer ones, and they are doing great. I like to grow mine in pairs. So I have them, I mean, some of them are just like this. Look at this jalapeno one, which I actually have to, I don't know if you can see it, but I need to take all of these little pepper blooms off because we don't want that yet. Not yet, sorry guys. So I would just pick these off. I even have like tomatoes growing, but these are just doing phenomenal, my peppers. I probably won't keep all of them, but I did grow some for some coworkers. But if you have peppers growing, I have a fan that's usually blowing on these, so that also helps too. But if you have peppers or tomatoes, I have been just disbudding all of like the little pepper buds, because I don't want them to produce anything yet until we get them outside. These will be hardened off in a few weeks or so, put them in the greenhouse, and then I will move them outside so they can get some light. But all of my peppers are right here, and they are doing phenomenal compared to ones that I still have in a 6-cell pack. They are itty bitty. I don't know how they're still surviving, but they are. These are my zinnias. They are huge. I'm actually gonna just take the camera with me because I don't want to pull them out, but these are ones like right here. This is a second succession of zinnias. We started these on April 11th. So they are only like a few weeks old, and they are already getting rather tall. I like to pinch mine if I can, inside or outside. And how I like to pinch them is I will count 3 of their true leaves, and then I'll pinch that 4th one off. So these ones aren't quite ready yet, but these we started April 11th, and they are doing great. Sometimes the outer ones, they get a little bit lack of light because I have so many trays smushed in here that they kind of just get sucked in. But I haven't killed too many plants quite yet, so I'm very happy about that. But these zinnias right here, they're rather tall, and I did pinch them already because I saw some buds. I'm like, no, it's way too early for that. So I'm just gonna take the camera and bring you around so you can see, so I'm not pulling everything out, because yeah, it'll just go much quicker like that. So I'm gonna take you off the tripod, show you around, and you can see the hot mess that is happening here. As I mentioned, these are all of my pepper plants, and they are doing fantastic. As you can see, like sometimes I'll have 2 and one will be thinner. I'll just end up not planting that one. But this is a great looking jalapeno. I have my Dahlia seedlings. They're a little bit leggy, but that's okay. And then I have some of my cuttings that I still need to pot up all the way back here. So these are a bunch of cuttings that I have. I've been a little bit behind on doing that, but I'm hoping to catch up soon. And then these are the April 11th zinnias. We have a lot of Bennery's Giants, and they're getting so tall I need to move these up as well. But these, look at how big they are going to be the first succession that we planted. As you can see, some kind of get a little bit left behind, but I'll still plant those out as long as they look healthy. But they are just ginormous. Let's see. So you can see I pinched this one right here. I tried doing some pinching. I pinched right here. So this is going to be the first succession, and we started these zinnias the end of March. So these are going to be started super early, but I really wanted to get some early blooms. And then coming around, hopefully I'm not going too fast. These are the pepper plants I have yet to pot up. And as you can see, the fungus gnats are just in those peppers because they've been here for so long. I have some coleus down here and oregano. And these are just some more of my zinnias. They are getting rather big. We have coleus, which I wish I had time to pot up, and I have not. So we will get those potted up hopefully next weekend. And I have some more. Look at the outside ones. I must have forgot one yesterday, but you know what? Things happen. I have so much that these definitely need to get some water on them right now. And then I have some celosia. So let's go take a look at those. But yeah, you know what? I need to come up with a better system with knowing when to get everything watered. So we have lots of celosia. I have a few successions of them, but they are looking rather good, I would say. I haven't started this many before. Last year I just winter sowed them, so I'm happy. I only did a couple of them last year under the grow lights, but they're doing good. They're hanging out with the zinnias. And then if we go down, I started some zinnias for some coworkers. So I have these in some 6-cell tearaway little packets so I can give it to them. And then this is another succession of zinnias. And I did these ones on the 19th. So these are going to be some of the floret ones. And then we have some more zinnias down here. So we have, I think I did 4 successions or 5 possibly of zinnias. So I'm very happy. We'll see how I get all of these planted. All right. So that is going to be this big main rack right here. I mean, look at this. We are going to take a look at some other ones. Now we are moving on to my first rack I ever had 3 years ago. And it's perfect for my dahlia cuttings. Now, as you can see, I have some more dahlias pre-sprouted. And as I mentioned before, don't mind my mess, I am going to bury these about 4 to 6 inches. So even though the tuber's here, I'm going to take these petals off and they will grow roots right where I break them off. So I probably will bury it right here. So I still will have only a little bit. And I try and have a fan on as much as I can to kind of rotate it. But they're getting a lot of light. And as you can see, I did pinch it. So that way it will sprout 2 extra sets. And then I will get some more blooms a little bit earlier on. But I do have my Sweet Annie right here. And I did get one more pack from Costco. I really wanted to try that Lavender Perfection. So that's in the back. And then we have another variety. Which I think is like a dark red or a purple, I can't remember. But I have all of my cuttings, and as you can see, I just don't have time to take cuttings from them. I do have all of my basil. It really should be potted up. I just don't have time. So I'm hoping, and please let me know if you've done this as well, where you've been taking cuttings and you just honestly don't have the time, and you just bury your tuber with this sticking out. I think what I did one time was just bury it, not cover it too much, and then slowly keep adding more soil as they are growing. So I think I'm going to do the same exact thing. I don't see why not. So let me know in the comments if you just can't keep up with cuttings and then you just plant them as is. But yes, I have some more. Yep, my house is a jungle. And this is the cinnamon and lemon basil, and it smells so good. So yes, this is going to be a nice little rack that is just perfect for cutting. So we're gonna move on to our next one and then head to the basement. Now we are on to our larger rack. I used this for all of my tomatoes last year. It can get rather high, which is so nice. But I moved some celosia and some zinnias. My frost explosion is right here. It got a little bit burnt from the lights. It was over on that smaller one. So I moved it here so I could get some more space. We have more celosia than I probably know what to do with, but I really want to try drying some. So I'm very excited to get these into the ground in the next few weeks. More zinnias. These ones I probably will end up pinching. So how I like to pinch it is, so these are not the first set of true leaves. So you're going to go 1, 2, and I like to count up to 3. And then what I will do is I will take some snips or my fingers and I will pinch that 4th one off. And then it will have 2 new shoots coming. And I like to do this earlier on because that is going to delay this from blooming, especially when you make a cut outside, for 2 to 3 more weeks. So if I can get this done ahead of time, then hopefully by the time I plant them out, they'll have some shoots going. So that is how I like to do it. Yes, these are probably started a little bit on the earlier side, but they're still hanging on for dear life, and I'm here for it. So that is going to be my top row. Again, it's the celosia and the frost explosion. If we go down, yeah, look at those tomatoes. Never potted them up. Those ones right here, they'll probably end up going into the compost. But these ones that I did, they're just like get us out of these tiny 6-cell packs. But you know what? They're still hanging on, so I'm leaving them in there. We have more zinnias that really need to probably get some fertilizer in because they're starting to get a little bit yellow right here. But these are my raspberry ripple ones, and I don't know why I thought it'd be smart to plant them with regular zinnias, but they're kind of getting a little bit overcrowded, but that's okay. But look, tiny, tiny ones. These ones I don't mind letting to bloom because they will just keep branching out. They are a nice dwarf landscape variety. Definitely check those out. And then as you can see, I pinched these. So these are some more zinnias. They really need to have some fertilizer, super bad. But I did pinch these ones as well because they're just so stinking tall. So tall. And then we have some more dahlias in our jungle. And I did, oh, look, you can see right here. How perfect is this? If I can get my camera to focus. So I did pinch this. And you can see, hopefully, if my camera will, no, it doesn't want to focus. I have 2 that are branching. Oh, there we go. So you can see how it's branching out right there. We're getting 2 new ones. And these are my cafe au laits. And you would think I would try and root my cuttings that I did from the top, but did I? I did not. I did not. So yeah, this is going to be my larger one. We are going to move down to the basement. Oh, look, there's more over there. Yep, that's just how we're rolling. And just looking out the window, look at how nice everything is looking. It's nice to wake up and open the curtains, and I just can't wait for them to start blooming. This back corner right here is where I'm really hoping to have my basil, and I haven't done anything right here yet. I actually went to the nursery down the road hoping she would have some kind of sweet peas, but she does not, unfortunately. But I did get some 9-bark, so I'm very excited about that. All right, so we are in my basement right now, and this is kind of like where things go to die, I feel like, because sometimes I just forget about things down here. But my hope is that in the future, I will have everything down here. I just have to figure out, because it's unheated, how to get it warm enough for flowers. So it gets in the 50s, like lower to mid 50s during the winter. And we had a really, really cold winter. And with the lights on now, it gets to about 64, 65 degrees down here. Without the lights, it drops down to about 61, 62. As you can see, though, my tomatoes are doing fine. Even though it is colder down here than last year, they're used to like the 70s. They're growing at a really nice rate. So these are going to be my double solo cups. This is a super sweet 100, so it's not crazy big. These will be planted out in about 3 to 4 weeks. So they are starting to get a little bit taller, but they're not crazy. I mean, this one right here is a little bit bigger. This is a salad tomato. I have it. So it's a little bit bigger, but they're not crazy. And I have been doing a really, really bad job fertilizing them. I came down here and they were looking a little bit sad, but they're rebounding. So I'm very happy. I'm just like neglecting them, but I need them so bad. This is a sun gold tomato, but look how happy it looks now. They definitely need fertilizer. So I've been lacking in the fertilizing department. I'm going to turn this around, show you I have my marigolds, and I have all of my tomatoes on this one right here. And then my other one, yeah, eucalyptus, not doing too hot. I have eucalyptus tomatoes. I have my kids from my school, our little zinnia pots that we have, and some tubers that are kind of just under there right now to get some light for the moment. And that will be just about everything. And then we'll take a look at what's in the greenhouse. Now, this is my basement rack. It is in deep with storage. But my tomatoes from my solo cups, they are doing rather good, even though it's so cool. It's just they're not growing as fast, which is nice. They do need some fertilizer. They're getting a little bit yellow on the top. But other than that, look, oh my gosh, look. I got some little baby sun golds coming up. They're doing good. They're just shorter and stockier, which I will take compared to last year when they were like 3 to 4 feet tall. So I love this double solo cup method. I think that's kind of why they survived as best as they can, because I will fill to about here or so with water, and they'll wick it up from the bottom, and they've been content. Now, they were a little sad the other day, but they've really perked up for the most part. Like, as you can see, like some of the leaves are browning on some of them, so I will pluck those off. And that one maybe might not be doing as well. But I am very happy overall with tomatoes down here. Now, as you can see, like that one, I don't know if you can see in the back. Like this one is stressed. The leaves are curling. This one probably won't make it. But you know what? I have found that tomato plants can be pretty resilient. So let's just go over to my very sad marigolds. Like I said, things just come here to die because oh, look at, I have a bloom. I need to keep watering these. I've been really bad. These are going to get out as soon as I can, but these are going to be my cut flower ones. They are looking pretty good, but I'm very sad because these are my white swan ones, and I think they're just getting overpowered by the ones that I planted back here for my vegetables, and they're not as tall as these giant orange ones. So I hope I don't lose too many of those, but they definitely need fertilizer. They're definitely, I forgot about them. They're dry still, so I got to get some more water into these. But let's go pan around to our other one. Now, here are our tomatoes, and as you can see, they are yellow as can be. They are getting taller. I mean, look, I've been coming and like wiggling them. They really, really need some fertilizer. They are getting stressed. They need, I don't know if these are all of my larger determinate ones. They might not all make it. I might be having to buy some, but we're gonna see if I can get them to rebound. But like, look, they're already setting fruit. But these ones I definitely have forgotten about, but you never know. You never know. So we'll see. So catching up on so much of the flowers I have forgotten about down here with all the planting. You'll see this with my eucalyptus, I think. Remember, I was like, oh, look at how good. So some of them are like not terrible. They definitely have some little tinges to them. But then you have others that, you know, they are not going to make it. Definitely not going to make it. I just have forgotten about them. And then it's either I make them have too much water, like, look at this. And then the fungus gnats on these ones are just too much right now. So I'm hoping, you know what, if I get a couple of plants out, we will call it a win. So I might have to figure out what we're going to do about eucalyptus next year. But then other ones, you know what? They're not terrible. Not terrible. And then over here we have some more Dahlia seedlings. Those ones are looking a little rough, but these are, look at what my kids did. Here's my daughter's. She's in my class. So we had these white terracotta pots that we purchased. The kids planted some dwarf zinnia varieties. I should have thinned them out, but you know, I don't even know if the parents honestly will take care of them. But I do have these raspberry ripple zinnias, so they will be giving them to their moms for Mother's Day, which I'm excited to harden these off this week. So just in case if they do put them outside, they will survive. So yeah, that's everything right here. I know I'm not the only one that forgets to water things or has too much going on their plate, but you know what? I'd rather it be the vegetables than the flowers, because the vegetables I can go down the road and for $3 get a tomato plant, or sometimes they have like a sale if you buy like 10 of them. So I can always buy the vegetables. The flowers, however, you can't just go down to your local nursery and buy a specific, Ben Rees giant white flower. I can't go and buy my floret ones from the greenhouse down the road. So if anything gets neglected, I'm happy for it to be at least the vegetables, because I can replace those. Yes, they're going to be more expensive. I may have wasted my time, but I have found the tomatoes I have neglected before, they bounce back. Maybe they might start producing a little bit later, but that is okay. I'm here for it, and I'm not a big tomato person anyways. As long as my Sun Golds and Super Sweet 100s make it, that's all I care about, because I will use those cherry tomatoes. And this whole space is a hot mess, but I'm hoping if you could maybe let me know if you have any growing in your basement that's unheated, how to keep it a little bit warmer. I've seen people put like plastic wrap up before, or a little portable heater, which I kind of am like not really into having the heater go, but I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But I would love this room to have everything. It will be great for my cool hardy annuals, and my tomatoes over there, they're loving it. And if I can have everything in one spot next year, hopefully it'll be a lot easier. So let's just take a look at the greenhouse really quick, and then we're going to wrap it up for the day. And we are officially inside the nice warm greenhouse. So if you've ever been wondering where I got my greenhouse from, I actually purchased this at Costco last winter, and I built it in the spring. This is the Yardistry greenhouse. It's the 8x10, I believe, and I absolutely love it. And like I said before in previous videos, I don't even have it working to its full capacity. Unfortunately, when we did get the greenhouse, it didn't come with these special little clips to help open and close the automatic springs for the overhead vents. So I just opened those manually by literally just opening it and flopping it over. I know there's better ways to do so, but that is all I've had time for. I also have an exhaust fan that I purchased to install right back here in this window that has not been hooked up yet, which I need to get done so that way I can keep growing my sunflowers all summer long, because it gets very warm in here. Other than that, I absolutely love it. What I like to do for my hardening off process is I will take everything from inside and I literally dump it in here. I've been doing that for the past month or two, and I leave them in here all day. And then if it's really cold at night, I just move them into my unheated garage where it will stay cozy. And then before work, I will move everything back into the greenhouse, and I will keep repeating this process. So these are mostly dahlias right here, all cuttings. And then I do have a few other things around, which I will show you. We have our sunflowers up top that we are starting. We started these last weekend. They're already starting to pop up out of the potting mix that I have them in. And I'll do another round of succession sowing later tomorrow, because I'm going to do small quantities throughout every single weekend. Instead of doing like larger ones, I don't need a massive amount. But I think just a couple of trays every week will just keep me going. And then hopefully they will bloom in those 50 to 60 days. So these are basically all cuttings. They have been in here for a week. They've been totally fine. I do have some of my dahlias. I put one in here as a tester because it's getting super leggy. Again, those will be going in the ground 4 to 6 inches deep. So I know they'll get much stronger because they will be buried. They're only in about maybe 2 inches of potting soil right now. I have my ageratum down here, a little snapdragons, which I need to pot up as well, and then my mahogany splendor hibiscus. Let me grab one of those for you because they are huge. Like, look at this. They are so tall. So I am going to be planting these in the front yard. We do have a Japanese maple and I love it. So my husband was really excited to see these trees, as he kept saying, why do we have trees growing in our bedroom? I moved these out because they were getting a little bit too tall for my grow lights, and these will be hardened off and planted in about 2 weeks or so in a nice cluster, but these were doing great, and that's not even one of my tallest ones. So I do have a shelf over here with a bunch of pots and trays, which I kind of need to compress down because I need the top 2 shelves for hardening things off. Next week I will be adding all of my dahlias. That is my goal, to get all of my dahlias in here, and I'm going to be planting my dahlias in my first wave of everything, and then I will slowly move into my warm loving annual. So I'm going to turn the camera around. We'll get it nice and close. I do need to pinch some of these as well, so that way, hopefully, since it's going to be the beginning of May, maybe by pinching them I can get some blooms maybe later June or early July. Hey, I will take anything just to get this stand up and going. So let's take a look at everything. I'm pretty happy with how my cuttings are doing. If you are a pro at dahlia cuttings, let me know how I'm doing. This was my first year doing it, so I think I did a pretty good job. And then we'll check in on the sunflowers to see if I can take those humidity domes off. So just to zoom out quick, my husband cleaned this for me, and oh my gosh, it's like night and day to what it looked like before. I took all of my hoops off. I'm not covering anything anymore. It's basically, you better survive or else. So we're going to take a look. This is my mahogany splendor hibiscus, and they are massive, massive, massive. I did grow some extra snapdragons for someone. They need to get potted up so bad, so I can give those to her. Right here we have Crazy Love, and as you can see, I did pinch them, so hopefully it will start encouraging some more branching. They were leaning towards the window, so I brought these ones in here. So they're in about 2 inches of soil, so once I plant them, it is going to be probably more up to here, and then this amount will be coming out. And I do plan on doing some netting. This is going to be my ageratum. I did move these out rather early, so some of them did get a little bit nipped because it was just cold in here. As you can see, oh, look at fungus gnats, yay. This year they were so bad, and I just could not keep on top of them compared to the past 2 years, which I has been totally fine. We have Gumfrina. Okay, my Gumfrina wasn't even this tall last year. I did so bad, but look, we have a little baby bloom. So I'm going to probably pinch that as well. Some of these are going to be Sage Seeds, which was really fun to see how tall they are getting. This is the sequin variety. This is the Audrey, which are shorter and have different leaves. And then I think I did a couple more of the Carmine as well. And then ageratum over here, again, a little bit nipped from it being cold, but I just really needed the space. And then these are my dahlia cuttings. I mean, so happy with how these are looking. This right here is Wine-Eyed Jill, which is good because I kind of killed the tuber. So I'm glad I have a few cuttings. I do have this Blue Tooth Thermopro in here, and I always check it every morning and at night. So we did get like a little bit of damage. It probably had a wet leaf with it being cold, but other than that, they've been doing pretty good. A little yellowing. They need to be fertilized. I'm a little bit behind on fertilizing. And then we have our Dusty Miller, which I'm actually kind of happy about. This is, I didn't know if I wanted to use this for my containers or as actual foliage. I didn't pot these up. These are very root bound. I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, they are root bound. But I am just so behind on my potting up. And we have more dahlia cuttings. I try and water them and keep them nice and happy by bottom watering. But we do definitely need to get some fertilizer in them. But overall, I think this is pretty good for my first time taking dahlia cuttings. Kept me very busy. All right, let's take a look at the sunflowers. All right, I haven't peeked since last night. Holy cow, these have really taken off since last night. So that is awesome. I will take the humidity domes off probably. I know I should now, but it's gonna get cold tonight, so I kind of want to keep them on. But I did all of the white light. I did actually a couple more trays afterwards because I did tell my coworker about them, and she's like, of course I had to have them. All right, let's see in here. So, and then we did lemon light. So I'm pumped. And I have to do this because of the critters. I'll let them get a few inches tall. Oh, look, we have a couple of cucumbers popping out. These need to be watered. But as you can see, we're just recycling anything that we can. We have more. And then, oh, I have some Tithonia. I have winter stone some, which I'm going to actually open those up today. But I don't know if I just had a really bad seed packet, but I have some over there. All right, good, because I'm like, I don't know if I had any for my winter stone milk jugs, and I'm going to try and sell a couple of these as well. Oh, and you know what? Those are branching sunflowers. So my Tithonia, I don't see anything yet. I don't know. Maybe I just had a bad seed packet. And then this is my last one, which is white light, and they're just starting to emerge. And that is everything underneath the grow lights and or in the greenhouse right now. These will start to come outside relatively soon. I'm hoping tomorrow I can start hardening them off outside. And then I'm actually going to start opening up my winter stone milk jugs because it's going to be in the 80s next week. And then it's going to go from like 85 down to the 60s. So I want to get those winter stone milk jugs opened up. So that will be my next video showing you how those are all doing. So if you would like to stay updated and see everything that is going on between cut flowers and my roadside flower stand, go ahead and click like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I will see you all next time. Happy gardening. Bye.